One of the biggest mistakes I see women make is copying someone else's routine without considering their life. We copy influencers, authors, productivity experts, women whose seasons look nothing like ours, and then we wonder why it doesn't work. But routines are built around context, not aesthetics. For example, a stay-at-home mom with toddlers has a different rhythm than a military officer working 12-hour days, right? A woman whose children are grown has different flexibility than a mother with a newborn. A nurse working night shift cannot organize her day the same way as someone working from home. Neither routine is wrong. They're simply built for different realities. Yet we keep trying to wear someone else's life, motherhood, right? Maybe you've seen the perfect morning routine. Wake up at 5, journal, read the scripture, exercise, drink coffee in silence. Now, imagine you have a toddler who wakes up at 5:15 or a newborn who wakes up every 2 to 3 hours. Your failure isn't that you couldn't maintain the routine. Your failure was expecting your season to behave like someone else's, right? Okay, military life teaches us something valuable. Every mission starts with an assessment. Commanders don't use the exact same plan regardless of terrain, weather, personnel, or enemy, right? They adjust based on the conditions. So why do we expect ourselves to succeed with routines that ignore our own conditions? PCS moves, deployments, field exercises, shift work, unexpected missions. Military spouses know routines often require flexibility. Structure isn't rigid, it's adaptable. And then let's talk about Jesus, right? Because even Jesus ministered differently depending on the situation. Sometimes he withdrew to pray. Sometimes he spent hours teaching. Sometimes he rested. Sometimes he stopped for one person. He wasn't committed to a schedule at the expense of his assignment. He was committed to obedience. That's our model. Not perfection, faithfulness. Okay, here's something we don't talk about enough. You can have the perfect routine and still fail because your dreams never changed. Imagine trying to pour water into a bucket with holes. You keep adding water, but nothing stays. That's what happens when we focus only on routines without asking, what's draining me? This is where the life method becomes so important. First, locate the gap. Then, identify the drain, because sometimes the problem isn't the routine, it's the leak. Let's say you're carrying everyone else's problems. You answer every phone call, solve every crisis, manage everyone's emotions, then wonder why you have no energy left for yourself. Let's say your calendar belongs to everyone else. Every yes costs you something. By the time your priorities arrive, there is nothing left. Okay. Decision fatigue. Every meal, every appointment, every outfit, every schedule. You're making hundreds of decisions before lunch. No wonder consistency feels impossible. All right? Moms often tell me, I can't keep a routine. Then we discover they're waking up all night, managing school schedules, cooking, cleaning, working, remembering everyone's appointments, helping with homework, and trying to squeeze self-care into whatever crumbs remain. The issue wasn't motivation. The issue was the drains. Let's talk about the military. For military families, constant change creates hidden drains. Moving. I'm doing that now. Changing schools. I'm doing it now. Deployments. Long work hours. Unpredictable schedules. Transitions require routines to evolve, not disappear. Okay? Even Elijah needed rest before direction. In 1 Kings 19, God didn't begin with another assignment. He addressed the exhaustion. Sometimes we're praying for clarity while ignoring burnout. Now, here's where a lot of women get stuck. They try to fix everything: faith, fitness, finances, marriage, motherhood, cleaning, meal prep, organizing, morning routines, evening routines, their business, Bible study, reading a book, water intake, all at once. But supportive structure starts with one priority. Not because the others don't matter, because your nervous system needs wins, not overwhelmed. This is why I always ask, what's the one area that needs support right now? Not next year, not someday. This week. Maybe it's bedtime. Maybe it's prayer or meal planning. Maybe it's protecting your evenings, right? And getting rest. Or maybe it's spending 10 intentional minutes with your children. Just one area, that's enough. So instead of trying to become the perfect mom overnight, start with the family dinner or bedtime prayers. Just one rhythm. Repeat it consistently. If you're in the military, instead of rebuilding your whole schedule after PCS, anchor one thing while you're PCSing. Sunday planning, morning prayer, work out 3 times a week. One anchor creates stability during transition. Okay? Jesus said, seek first. Notice the order. One priority. Everything else follows. Supportive routines begin with priorities, not pressure. This week, I want you to stop asking, how do I become more disciplined? Instead, I want you to ask, what's realistic for this season? What's draining me? What's my one priority? Then build around that. That's how routines become sustainable. Not because life becomes easier, but because your structure becomes wiser. Girlfriend, your routine may not be broken. It may simply be unrealistic. Maybe you've been measuring yourself against a life that isn't yours. Maybe you've been trying to build on top of exhaustion. Maybe you've been fixing symptoms instead of drains. Maybe you've been trying to change everything instead of supporting one thing. Grace doesn't eliminate structure, girlfriend. It permits us to build structure that fits our real lives, because God isn't asking you to steward someone else's season. He's asking you to steward yours faithfully. If today's teaching helped you realize that your routine isn't broken, it's unsupported, your next step is simple. Download the free life inventory checklist. Do that now. It will help you identify where your life feels out of alignment, what's draining your peace, and which area needs support first. The link is in the description below. Don't try to fix everything. Start with the truth. Now, if you've already completed the checklist, don't stop there. Book your life inventory audit. During the audit, we'll walk through your results together. We'll locate the gap, identify the drain, find the structure, and build a realistic reset designed around your actual life, not someone else's. You'll find that link in the description as well. If this teaching encouraged you, comment below. I'm building support, not perfection. I'd love to hear what one priority you're focusing on this week. If you're not already subscribed, join our community. Every week we have conversations about faith, routines, boundaries, motherhood, military life, accountability, and practical structures, so you can account for what matters. Until next time, remember, you don't need a routine that looks impressive. You need one that supports the life God actually gave you.